Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It is Friday, the 14th of November. So, what are we going to talk about today? I thought we'd talk about how being consistent, showing up, and doing a good job will get you farther than any Google ad or anything else out there. Let me explain. Stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. And yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Friday. Yes, you made it. November 14th of 2025. So, let me start off first with I had a good week. My 1 year anniversary, so I'm still alive. That's good. Found my calf. That's even better. And I had a chance to hunt and got all the firewood in that we need. Bingo. So this week overall has been pretty good, right? Today we're going to Sam's Club to do our bi-monthly shopping after work, and then maybe the boys are coming out this weekend. All right, so let's get on topic here. What am I saying about consistency? I'm saying that if you show up every morning, even when you don't feel like it, you show up and you do a good job and you're there, customers will see that and they will attract to you, okay? You're an unknown. When we talk about advertising and all that, and your first encounter with that customer, or I should say the first encounter each of you are having with one another, nobody's a given, okay? But to your regular customers, they see you showing up every day, and they see your attitude, and they see that you're a hard worker and you're doing great. When I say doing great, I mean you're fixing their problem, which is what we are, problem solvers. Your attitude is good. You're not bitching and complaining. And you're there consistently every day that you said you're going to be there. That builds trust, and that will build your customer base. Now, what I can tell you is what we did early on, and even up until like 5 years ago, and I finally said enough was enough. Okay. Now, 5 years ago, I was still running with the dogs. All right. And that meant I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning for my overseas employees. I was down to the shop by 3:30, and I stayed at the shop until 3:30 to 5 at night. And we had what I would call a split shift, okay? I would go in at 3:30 in the morning and start getting stuff set up. Claude would show up around 6:30. Krista would show up around 7, and then Randy would show up around 9. Okay, so we had a split so that I had somebody there from, let's say, 7 in the morning till 5 o'clock at night, just to answer the phone, just to have people drop stuff off, what have you, okay? Randy didn't know that much about parts and trying to look up parts. Krista, she was my right hand person. She could do it all. So if a customer needed a part, she could punch it in, grab it off the inventory, and knew what the price was and sold it. Voila. Randy was more of intake. People wanting to drop stuff off after 3 o'clock. My line of logic was, you need to be available when it's convenient for the customer, okay? And by me going at 3:30 in the morning to the shop, it wasn't because I was trying to get there early to do a bunch of stuff, which I did, and I still worked with the overseas employees until around 5. But I had customers that would have to be to work at the crack of dawn in the morning. And they would go by the shop like at 4 o'clock in the morning. And once they started seeing I was there at 3:30, they would send me a text saying, could I drop off my snowblower and my mower on my way to work? Because you seem to be there. And I said, yeah, absolutely. So it wasn't uncommon at 3:45 to be out front of the shop in pitch dark unloading equipment, whether it be a lawnmower, snowblower, push mower, what have you, and doing an intake on it. And it wasn't uncommon with Randy doing the same thing from 3 to 5 when Krista left. All I wanted to do was have her tag in bag so I knew whose it was, why it was there, and make sure you get the contact information. If we don't have it on file, I want every time I have my employees write down the name, address, phone number, and why it was there, and what they wanted done. What they wanted done. And that way, when I got in the morning, I could look at and see what it was, go out and look at the machine and see what the issue is and how we could make it better for our customers. And we even, like I say, up until 5 years ago, we even had where if I was around 7 o'clock at night, if I was outside doing stuff in the summer, and a customer spotted me and asked me if I could go down and check, see if I had a belt for them for their lawnmower, they had the part number, I would say, come on. I would drop what I was doing. I'd run down, get them the belt, get paid, lock back up, come back up. Did that get us a lot of extra customers? Yes, it did, because we were catering to our customers. But what was it also doing? It was also teaching our customers that there were no boundaries. And I think that's the biggest thing that you have to do in life, whether it's business, your personal life, you have to have boundaries, all right? And if you don't like how people are treating you, you need to look in the mirror, because you teach others how to treat you. By me at 7 o'clock, stopping what I was doing, mowing the yard maybe, and going all the way down the shop, opening up the door, going in and getting a belt, and running their card, and then locking back up, coming back up, and then trying to finish the lawn. What was I doing? I was telling the customer that I was available anytime they saw me. And that's okay if that's the style of business you want to run. We did it for years. And I'll tell you, we lost some customers when I finally said enough was enough. And that was, I started putting in boundaries. Is the shop is open from 6:30 in the morning till noon during the winter months. And I'm available till usually around 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'm somewhere. If I'm not down at the shop, I'm somewhere close by, and I will do what anybody needs during that time. I'm available. At 3 o'clock and on, I'm not available. Don't come pounding on my door wanting a belt for your lawnmower or snowblower. You know, if you want to text me that you have problems, or if you want to drop your machine off and text me saying why you're dropping it off and what they were hoping to get in the end, when the repairs and stuff, absolutely. Because I can set my phone down. Honestly, when I get in a little after 3 in the afternoon, the only thing I use my phone for is Facebook, and that's where most people will message me through. But it's to message my daughter, my granddaughter, and my niece to let them know that I've taken my meds, I'm headed to bed, and that I love each one of them. That's basically why I even have it out. Other than that, you know, pre-heart issue, when I was getting in at 3, nothing. I would not go to the computer. I would not go with my phone, you know, and don't bother calling me after 6 o'clock at night, even if someone died, because I'm not going to be able to resurrect them during the night anyway. So, you know, send me a message or leave me a message on the phone, and I will get to it in the morning. If you show that you're consistently showing up at the shop, you will get more customers because then they will start looking and seeing you during that time frame. And it's not for you to go out of your way to help them all the time. If they need something, I mean, I've had guys that had like 5 weeks vacation, like I used to have when I worked at the mines, and not be willing to take a half day's vacation to bring the lawnmower over and drop it off. But yet they would turn it in at the end of the year because they didn't use it all. That never made any sense to me. If you got 5 weeks vacation, I'm taking the full 5 weeks somewhere. I got into that situation at the mines a few times of where I was an operator in the mill at that time, and we were running pretty well full tilt 6 days a week. So the idea of taking like a week's vacation, was hard because they just didn't have the backup operators to step in. And we were running 2 shifts. When we were running one shift, it was fine because you had one on, one off. Every week we would switch and no big deal. But with running 2 shifts, now it was limited to who could step in, so vacation was hard to do. And I remember one year I ended up going right into the end of December, and I had a little over 3 weeks of vacation left. And I told him, I said, I haven't used it because you guys haven't allowed me to get time off. So at that point, they told me, I said, we can either pay you that 3 weeks, time and a half, or you can carry it over. Pay me. Because I know once December 31st hit, January 1st, I had another 5 weeks. So why would I carry you over into 8 weeks that you're not going to give me? So, I mean, if you want a steady stream of customers, you need to be seen every day at that time. Whatever time you're going to be open, you need to be consistently open. If a customer drives by one afternoon and he sees you're open at 4 o'clock, and then he, on the next day he grabs his lawnmower to bring it in, and he gets there at 4 o'clock and you're not there, and he doesn't know because he doesn't know you about dropping his lawnmower off if he should or shouldn't and this and that. That's what I mean. You got to be consistently there. That's why we've limited the amount of road calls that we do, because it really does hurt us. We've lost a lot of customers because they can't figure out what our hours are. Because we may be there from 6:30 till noon with Claude, but we may be gone half of that period, out doing a road call or doing a pickup or drop off, or having to go to Tractor Supply or something to get a part, like a winch that we're putting on a 4-wheeler. That's what I'm talking about, is consistently showing up even when you don't want to, having a great attitude. People will see that in the community. And over time, you're going to keep building customers. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was the repair business. So you're going to be building them gradually. And that business is going to be one that would stay the test of time over one that goes like this and then goes like that, all right? Goes like this because everybody rushes to you because they hear you're cheap and you do good work, and then it goes like this when they find out that you're not cheap and you're shoddy shop. It's better to build a forward momentum slowly than it is to shoot up. I've done Google ads, I've done Facebook ads, I've done the gauntlet, radio, TV, newsprint. The best ads for me, for my business, have been the group ads on Facebook. Not Facebook Marketplace, but the Facebook Marketplace groups that you can ask to join in your local area. And some are buy, sell, some are, roadside lawn sales, yard sales, and this and that. And then the community group that I belong to that covers the 3 communities that I service. And once a month, I'll throw an ad on there. And I'll throw the same ad into the groups. And I'll throw the same ad on my personal one. And a lot of my friends share that with their friends, which is good because I've only got like 300 friends. And I'll tell you, most of them have got thousands of friends. So I get the best bang for the buck, you know. But consistency, showing up when you don't want to, is going to win the day. And set your boundaries. You can do like what I did early on, and that was from 3:30 till 5 at night, trying to cover the spectrum. But there's no reason that the one that was dropping it off at 3:45 in the morning couldn't have dropped it off on a Saturday morning either, right? That's what I mean. If you have boundaries in place, you follow your time that you're going to be there. And I thought about putting a sign out front that said, after hours drop-offs, okay. Leave a message on the phone, what you're dropping off, or something like that. But we'll see. I'm still got that in the thought process. In the comments, what are your thoughts on it? Jason, you've run a shop for years. Amos, you built a business. There's a lot of you guys out there that are self-employed. How did you build your business? Did you feel like it was just a little bit in showing up, being consistent, paid off? Or were you looking for the big jump to really get the business started? I was looking for both. And I know from personal experience, the best is small forward momentum, being consistent. So while we're running this out, I wanted to bring back into play boundaries. And boundaries are something that you need to set in life. Whether it's your business, your personal life, people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And I've had so many people, including myself, that would get mad at other people because of the way they were treating me. And in the end, the culprit was me because I was allowing it. I never said anything. I never spoke up and said, look, this is not acceptable. I didn't teach people what my boundaries were, whether it was business and running to the shop at 7 o'clock at night, or what they were saying to me that may be offensive, but I didn't say anything. That's what I mean by you need to teach people where your boundaries are. First, you need to figure out where your boundaries need to be, and then you need to be vocal to the people around you. This is unacceptable. I mean, there's a lot of times where you have to agree to disagree, but if you have your boundaries in place, people know what your boundaries are. If you still have somebody that's pushing those boundaries and going beyond, are they really your friend? Or someone that you want around you? So on that note, you guys have a great Friday. We'll see what's going on this weekend. And other than that, enjoy.